How's it going, everybody? I know a lot of you are ticked off at the way Gleyber Torres has been playing, but look at it this way. If he goes on to Wheel of Fortune, at least he won't need to buy any E's. He's already got 12 of them.
Sure, you've gotten lots of calls about this, but Gleyber Torres has got to go. I mean, we got Oswaldo Cabrera sitting on the bench, and he's a better player than at least three of the people that were in there tonight. Why isn't he in the game? I'll tell you why. Because Aaron Boone couldn't manage a garage sale, and he needs to be the next guy to go. I've had about enough of this crap.
Well, you're right about one thing. We got a lot of calls about Gleyber Torres. It's just something the Yankees can't ignore anymore. This guy's got 12 errors. We're halfway through the season. He's on pace for 24 errors as a second baseman. That's ridiculous. They used to make fun of Derek Jeter for having like 20-something errors in single A as an 18-year-old or whatever. Gleyber Torres is an established major league veteran. I don't understand how you can be this bad defensively. We watched Knobloch with the yips. You know, that was a mental thing. He couldn't throw the ball to first base, so he had a lot of errors. But these are just routine ground balls that he's whiffing on. And then the non-hustle, there's just too many things that are going wrong with Gleyber Torres right now. He needs his ass on the bench.
It's very difficult to watch this team. Come on, Derek. I mean, we have Jones, Torres, Davis. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm probably sounding like every other caller that called you this morning, but what are we doing here? Is this the New York Yankees? Is this the Murderers Row? Is this the team that's actually going to go to the World Series? I mean, what else is Boone supposed to do? This is the active players that he has. He has to play them, right?
Well, as the previous caller said, they're not giving Oswaldo Cabrera a lot of playing time. We had a few calls about Oswald Peraza. I know he's not hitting much at AAA, but they seem hell-bent on stifling that guy's career. He was our number one prospect a couple of years ago, and they just refused to give him any kind of an extended chance. Look, guys, I think there's some real decision-making problems going on with the Yankees in terms of roster construction. J.D. Davis as an addition to this team and getting at bats over Ben Rice, there's too many problems. We got to fix some of these things.
Hey, Derek, it's Sam from Atlanta. When I saw the lineup in yesterday's game, all I could do was laugh. I mean, my gosh. Jemiah Jones is your DH. That's the best the Yankees can do, for real. The New York Yankees trotting out Jemiah Jones as your DH, Gleyber hitting the cleanup, and the guy continues to make errors. DJ LeMahieu's done. I mean, why are we continuing to trot this crap out?
Brian Cashman's roster construction has always been terrible. And the Yankees player development has not been good either. You're telling me we don't have guys in the minor leagues that can come up and take at bats instead of J.D. Davis and Jemiah Jones? Jemiah Jones as a DH? This guy can't hit. You're going to have him in there as a bat-only guy? Jemiah Jones should be a pinch runner and nothing else.
Good morning, Derek. This is Hugh from Bay Ridge. When are the Yankees getting rid of Ralston? Oh, who's Ralston? Yeah, he's our batting coach. Unfortunately, any place 5 through 9 in the order is a virtual out. So I'm curious why they hired Ralston. Who is he? And why does he remain? Thank you.
Look, it's hard to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And I'm not going to blame the hitting coach for this one because these guys that they're putting in there are either washed up or they were never good hitters in the first place. I like what Ralston has done with Anthony Volpe. Volpe has completely transformed his swing. He's become a good hitter. But DJ LeMahieu can't hit anymore. Gleyber Torres is trying to hit every ball out of the ballpark because he wants a big contract, and we're seeing how that works out. You know, the catching has not been offensively good. We've gotten very little production out of first base. And the one guy who's come up and shown that he can hit the ball a little bit, Ben Rice, sitting his ass on the bench last night just because you got a left-handed pitcher, even though he just had some good at-bats against lefties. To me, like other callers have said, this is more on Aaron Boone and to a degree on Brian Cashman as well for not putting the right roster pieces in place. I don't want to see J.D. Davis out there. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see Jemiah Jones ever taking at bat unless it's an emergency.
Hey, Derek, Nick from South Carolina. just got done watching the game this morning, and I got to tell you, I don't know, whoever makes out the lineup, I have two issues today I wanted to run by you. One, why wasn't the kid Rice playing first base? This guy Davis, Oakland was so anxious to get rid of him, they basically gave him to us. That has to tell you something. And why they're not letting the rookie come up and play every day so that you can test him and see what he really has. But play him 3 days, rest him, then put in this guy Davis, that's not going to work. You're never going to get the best out of this kid if you do that, number one. Number two, Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres, once again, creates an error that just any little leaguer could have handled, and a run scores. And that run that scores may have been the difference because the Yankees showed great resilience and came back, only to have that putz of a second baseman once again, through his carelessness and lazy baseball effort, allowing another run to score.
I had hopes that Gleyber Torres would turn it around, that it was kind of a slow start, but we're halfway through the season now. All right, it's time to get going, or it's time to sit your ass down on the bench. And the laziness, the jogging to first base, I don't care that his groin is hurting. You bust your ass for this team. You're making millions of dollars. You play through a little bit of pain. If you can't run, you shouldn't be in there. You should be on the IL. If you need to jog to first base in a crucial situation because your groin hurts, you got no business being on the roster. You should be on the injured list. Full stop.
Man, that sucked. Freaking Rice should be playing these games. He's already, I think, done enough to deserve it. Kid looks good out there. You got to let the kid play.
I appreciate the call. I think a lot of Yankees fans are in agreement that Rice just needs to play every day. In fact, if I were Cashman, I would just go ahead and DFA this guy, J.D. Davis, right away. I mean, just let the kid play. It's a waste of a roster spot to have J.D. Davis in there. You telling me that Rizzo would sit against lefties? No. And Rice is a better hitter than Rizzo at this point in his career. That's just the way it is. And you're going to stunt this kid's growth if you don't let him face the toughest competition, because there's going to come a time where he needs to face this tough competition. And if he hasn't had that experience before, he's not going to be able to lean on it. I just think the Yankees consistently mishandle their youth. We saw it with Peraza. We saw it with Andujar. Andujar had some injuries, but, we've seen it with so many guys. Just let the kid play. Let's see what he's got. If he fails, he fails. And that's on your player development system. But I think he'll play well. And he's shown a good eye. He's been good on defense. Let the kid play.
Hey, Derek, Frank, Southern California. We should move Torres to the 9-hole. He puts in Ben Rice at 4. Platoon him with Trevino and maybe Austin Wells. Left, right for Trevino facing the lefties. But come on, yeah, let's do that.
I'm good with putting Gleyber Torres in the 9-hole as long as it's for San Diego.
Good evening, Derek. Congratulations again over the 40 downs, and let's get to 45 and even 50 by the end of the season. And I called last week. This is Milton, by the way, from Texas. I called last week about Boone's terrible management of pitchers, and you did bring up that the case for Torrey was not good either, especially when you brought up the name of Farnsworth. I remember him. But nothing in comparison to what Boone has done over the last, since he's been with the Yankees. He is terrible. Look at tonight, recall, he didn't have it. Let's get him out of there. What his goal was to get him to 70, and I think he pitched 72 pitches. Last week he pitched 62, and he got him out, and he was even better than last week. So, I mean, I guess, what the pitching amount is the goal here. Come on, winning is the goal here, and the pitcher doesn't have it. Get him out.
I appreciate the call. The one guy that I'm willing to let work through some issues on the mound at the major league level is Gerrit Cole, just because he's got such a great track record. But it was clear last night that he was serving up those meatballs. I was hoping that he would turn it around and settle in. That's what you want. You want him to, kind of put it together and then retire 10 in a row or whatever. And I think we all kind of hoped that would happen, but it just wasn't happening for him last night. So hopefully he gets it going next start, and this isn't some kind of an injury or anything like that, and it's just a dead arm kind of spring training period for him. But, yeah, you guys remember Scott Proctor, how Joe Torre basically killed him? At least Aaron Boone hasn't done that yet.
I was wondering, do you think, like, when batters go, when, like, Gleyber and all the batters from, like, 4 through 9, besides, like, Ben Rice, who just got to the league, do they purposely, like, watch the first 2 pitches go through? Like, DJ does this all the time. He'll let the first 2 pitches, it could be right down the middle. He'll just watch them. And the last pitch will be down in the dirt. He'll swing at it. Like, are they purposely doing that? Or is it just like is this random? What's your, how many thoughts on it?
It's just a matter of not being aggressive enough. You know, some hitters can go up there and attack early in the count. The Yankees' MO is to make the pitcher throw a lot of pitches and, you know, possibly draw a walk or whatever. But sometimes you just got to hack. And I feel like the Yankees do let too many pitches go by early in the count. Now, if you're Juan Soto, I don't mind you taking a lot of pitches. But if you're DJ LeMahieu and you're slumping, I want you up there hitting the first hittable pitch that you get and just driving it in the gap somewhere. But I'm not sure that DJ has that kind of ability anymore. All right, guys, we'll see you after the game. Thanks for all the calls. Tough night for the Yankees, but hopefully they turn it around tonight with Luis Gil.